Once upon a time, in the heart of the Indian countryside, there was a sculptor named Arjun. He lived in a small stone workshop, surrounded by rolling hills and towering cypress trees. Every day, he worked tirelessly, chiseling away at marble, but his heart was never at ease. Arjun's father, Vikram, was a legendary sculptor whose statues were admired by all. In Arjun's studio, an unfinished bust of his father loomed over him, a constant reminder of the shadow he lived under. One morning, Arjun's friend, Samir, entered the workshop and saw him lost in his work. Samir placed a newspaper on the table, its headline reading, "Vikram's legacy continues? Son struggles to impress." Arjun looked at it, his jaw tightening. He turned away in silence. One evening, Arjun attended a grand sculpture exhibition. The gallery was filled with breathtaking statues, none of them his. As guests admired Vikram's work, Arjun stood in the corner, unseen. A critic passed by his own sculpture, a rough and unpolished piece, and shook his head. This lacks his father's precision. A shame. Arjun's fist clenched. Shame burned within him as he stormed out into the night. Back in his studio, frustration boiled over. He knocked over a pile of stone fragments. Among the rubble, a broken piece caught his eye. It was imperfect, yet something about it felt raw and real. He hesitated, then picked it up. From that night on, Arjun changed. He no longer sculpted for perfection. He sculpted for emotion. His hands moved freely, not bound by comparison. He carved with feeling, no longer chasing his father's shadow. One day, a child visited Arjun's studio. The child touched one of his sculptures and whispered, "It feels alive." Arjun inhaled deeply, as if seeing his own work for the first time. Soon after, in the town square, Arjun unveiled a new sculpture. It was not flawless, but it was powerful. A crowd gathered, murmuring in admiration. "This is different," a woman in the crowd said. "It speaks to the heart." Among them stood Vikram, watching silently. After a moment, he turned to his son and nodded. "You finally found your own hands," he said softly. Arjun felt his burden lift. He did not need to be his father. He only needed to be himself. From this story, we learn that true artistry is not about imitation. It is about finding one's own voice. Comparison only steals joy. But when we create from within, without fear, we find something truly unique. If you like this story, share with others who need encouragement. And remember, your art, your journey, your voice is enough.